I bet you're wondering, how much will YouTube pay me once I finally get monetized on my channel? Today I'm going to give you two scenarios of what it looks like to get paid from YouTube for your first paycheck. One is going to be my first paycheck, and the other is going to be a student of mine who got monetized within 20 days. So to get started with that, we have to talk about something that's very important that some people have heard plenty of things about. Some people ignore it, some people say you don't have to do it, but your niche is super important to how much you get paid. So first off, let's talk about my niche. My niche that I operated in was in credit and things dealing with credit cards and stuff like that. So that was the space that I was in, and there's of course a different rate that you get paid for that. And my student was in the area somewhere around health and wellness, because he was talking about juicing and dealing with the health benefits that come from that. Now, when it comes to how much you're gonna get paid on YouTube, it's gonna depend on something called CPM and RPM. Now, your CPM is going to be the amount that advertisers are paying to YouTube, and it's calculated based off of 1,000 ad views, I believe it is, because it's called cost per mil. But it doesn't have anything to do with a million, it's dealing with a per 1,000 views. And then there's the RPM, which is the revenue per mil, which is how much YouTube shares of that revenue with you, which is your revenue. So basically, once you get monetized, you'll be able to see these two numbers, and you can see how much you're getting for CPM and ultimately how much you're getting for RPM. But you really want to pay attention to the RPM because that's actually what you'll be getting. But again, your niche is tied into what it is that you will receive as far as your your RPM. So this is like your pay rate if you were working at a job. Now, there are some things that can affect your CPM other than the things like your niche, and that can be the season that you're in, because if you notice in any other realm outside of YouTube, most advertisers are going to advertise more heavily during the holidays, probably during the summertime. So you can really see that translate into your CPM when you start to see that rate increase because you're closer to the holiday time or the summertime. Another thing that can affect your CPM is also the country that you're in, because there are certain countries that most advertisers are going to want to advertise more to. Let's say they think people in certain countries don't have as much free income to spend money on their particular product, so they wouldn't spend more of their money in certain countries versus others. And usually you're gonna see higher CPMs if you're in the United States and a few other countries. Now, something to keep in mind is that your CPM is gonna be different based on the video that you make, because you might make a video that's covering one topic this day and then a different topic the next day. It could be under the same umbrella, but it might be a very different topic. For instance, I can make a video talking about a person fixing their credit, and then I might make a video talking about credit cards. So those are two different topics within the same area, but they would have two different CPMs. So real quick, let's talk about how I got monetized. So first off, I had a YouTube channel way back in 2016, I believe it was, and I did a few videos, didn't really get a lot of traction, but I still kept pumping them out. I think maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, something like that. And then, I stopped working on the channel. I really wasn't getting any traction anyway, so I was like, I'll just put this to the side, and I'm putting in a lot of effort, not getting any return on investment. So I didn't really like that too much either. So then years later, fast forward, I have a family now, a wife, 2 kids, well, 1.5, one was on the way, and we were in a situation dealing with COVID, and then income started to drop down as I wasn't able to go do my normal activities. I was in a new state at the same time as well, so having to reestablish my business. COVID is happening. People are losing income as well, so they can't afford to pay for services. So I had to find a new way to earn money, and I had to find a way to do it online because that was the next best thing since I couldn't get out of the house. So once I figured that out, while watching YouTube videos, I was like, something, I still had a channel that I had not done anything with. Let me go ahead and pick this back up and start actually making some videos. So then I made a few videos. I tried to go off the trends that were happening at that time. Really wasn't getting any traction once again with those videos, and then something told me to go ahead and try to do a video about an affiliate product that I had that I really hadn't done much with before, hadn't really got a lot of affiliate commissions or anything like that. So I said, let me try this on YouTube, since I did it mostly on Facebook and Instagram prior to that. Now, at this point when I was putting this video out, it was my 11th video, and let me tell you that when I was trying to make that video, it just seemed like everything was happening to try to stop me from being able to make that video. It's like one thing was happening. If one thing wasn't happening, another thing was happening, and something's happening with the kid. I have to step out to help, and I can't really do it. I had to stay up really late to force myself to get the video done because of all what I had to do that day leading up to me trying to make that video. So that's kind of like a sign that something was gonna happen really good, and I didn't really fully know it at the time, but I was like, this has to be really worth it if I'm going through all this to try to get this video done, right? So then I actually went ahead, got the video done, knocked it out, and then I ended up posting the video. And then, you know, I'm thinking that it's gonna do okay, and then I end up seeing that it ended up blowing up, y'all. This is my 11th video since the comeback, and my 11th video just started blowing up. It started going crazy, and seeing growth and exposure that I would not have even thought I would have possibly seen, and the commissions as well started stacking up in that video. So not only did I get monetized on my channel from that video, I also racked up a lot of affiliate commissions because of that too. And if you want to see a video that I did detailing that, I'll put a card up so that you can check that out. And when I got monetized, it was in November. So basically everything that I did during November was stacking up to be paid out in December, and YouTube pays out on the 21st of the month. So I received a check on the 21st of the month, and I was blessed enough to see $5,000 and some change come through from that first YouTube video that got me monetized. Now, it wasn't that video alone, because the traction that that video got and exposure that that video got led people to my other videos. So altogether, they totaled up to getting me to that total that I mentioned. But I was very, very pleased, of course, to see that large check come, and then the large affiliate checks that came after that. Now, let me tell you about my student and how he got monetized. So I ran into a student, and this particular student had a situation where he was about to get put out of his apartment because he wasn't going to have the money for the rent, because he had actually helped somebody else, a woman and her kids, secure a home for them so that they wouldn't be homeless. So he ended up helping her and need money for herself. So when I ran across the situation, I was like, okay, I know that we can get you a way to get some money by getting you monetized on YouTube. So we're gonna use this strategy, and I outlined the strategy for him, and he was totally dedicated to it because, of course, at this point, you have to get rent money. So this is something that's gonna put a lot of fire under anybody to go ahead and get things done, especially since he didn't know any other way that he might be able to come across this money within the time frame he had, which was 20 days. So I advised him to go ahead and start a brand new channel. He started it from scratch, 0 subscribers, no watch hours, and then he just started implementing the plan with the keywords that I told him to use to make topics, and he just started pumping out content every day, a video every day, a short every day, and he just kept on putting out content, and he did not stop. He was going like a machine. And then, you know, slowly as he's putting out all this work, not really seeing too much change, you know, like a lot of times when you're out there putting out content, you're probably not seeing a lot of things change, but he kept on being consistent. He kept on focusing on the topics I gave him, and he kept on putting out the content. And then he eventually, after a week of putting out videos, he had put out, I think, about 16 videos at this point. And then he actually saw some major progress, getting to 500 subscribers overnight. Then the next night after that, it doubled to 1,000. And then even after that, it doubled to 2,000 within the next day. And of course, he had hit the watch hours before that time frame. And this was all within the 20 days that we had to try to get him monetized. So after getting to that goal of getting monetized, he still had some time to go for the rest of the month. So later on, I ended up hearing from him, and the amount that he actually ended up getting paid for his first YouTube check was around $700. And also, he had an ebook that he was selling, because we made sure to implement an ebook that he already had created that he wasn't getting as many sales as he could have possibly been getting. And he also banked another almost $600 from sales in the ebook using the strategy that I gave him as well. So altogether, even though this isn't all ad revenue, it was about $1,300 that he was able to receive from his efforts on YouTube. Now, the difference in revenue that was received is, of course, the size of the channel at the time, the amount of viewers and watch hours that you're getting, and also the CPM that we talked about, because it's different per topic and per industry, or niche rather. Now, if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, I have a quiz that I created down below that's gonna tell you some growth secrets that you can use for your channel to try to grow it and get to monetization. So check that out in the description or in the first comment. But here's some other things you need to know if you're trying to grow your channel on YouTube. And the first thing is, y'all play too much. And the reason why I'm saying y'all play too much is because you are gonna probably say that you've heard some of the things that I'm gonna say. Not all of them, but you're probably gonna say that you've heard some of the things that I'm gonna say, and you probably have heard a few of them before, but I can almost guarantee you that you're not doing them, and that's why you're not monetized yet. And one of the first things is gonna be, as I mentioned, pick a niche. As I told you guys, I had picked a niche, my student had picked a niche, and we dialed in on what it is our focus was. If you are trying to serve all of these different people, 5, 10 different groups of people, you will end up not being able to speak to anybody because they won't really know that your message is for them. And then in regards to YouTube, YouTube takes your content and tries to find the ideal people for your channel because it like sticks your channel in a certain location in the YouTube world wherever it thinks your niche is. So the best thing that you can do is help YouTube to find your niche, the accurate niche, by putting out consistent content around a niche or a certain topic so that YouTube can know where to accurately place you. And then when you put videos out, they will start to perform better once YouTube has really located the right place, and then those people will actually interact better and more, and you'll get better analytics on your videos because you finally have the family that has been looking for you. All right, and you got to push out this content regularly. Why? Because the faster you're putting out content, the faster YouTube can get a gauge on where you should be living in the YouTube world, and then once again find those people that are looking for your content and that you are looking for. Now the next thing that you need to do is keep your videos consistent. Keeping them consistent means that you're doing similar formats to how you record videos. If you change up the format of your video and how you do them too often or on a regular basis, then people that came to your video and subscribed and liked the video because of how it was formatted, then they see a whole different format and then you're talking in a different way or about totally different topics. That's gonna take them away and make them not want to continue to engage with your videos versus having a consistent format in how you talk and what you do in your videos. And then they know that they'll like each one and they will like each one and they will watch more of your videos. And the next most important thing is making sure that you are posting content that people are looking for. You can't just post things talking about what you think a person needs to know. You have to understand that most consumers or people that are looking for your type of content you want to create, they might not be thinking at the level that you're thinking at as the expert about what you do. They're probably searching for things that you were thinking about in the beginning or questions that you were asking in the beginning. So you need to make your content around that and things that people are searching for so that you can know that when I put this content out, there is somebody out there who is the right audience for this. We just have to do everything else that I mentioned before this, being consistent in the format, pushing out content regularly to a certain and pushing it out to a certain niche to make sure that YouTube can find those people for you. And if you incorporate all of those things into what you're doing, if you're struggling right now, and not just say, oh, I heard that before, and actually do what I'm saying that you need to do because you've heard it before, and the reason why you haven't gotten where you need to get is because you haven't been doing all of these things, maybe because you didn't know, or maybe because you just thought it wasn't necessary. But if you're not where you want to be, doing things the way that you have been doing them, then you need to do things differently, because other than that, that's insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different result. And just so you know, I do have a workshop that's gonna be on September 25th to help you with any of these things that you might be struggling with in regards to getting monetized and helping people to implement this strategy that I gave to my student that got monetized within 20 days. And if you're not good at holding yourself accountable, then that's what we're gonna be doing in this workshop. I'm already working with a group right now and helping them, and I have so much insight to share with you guys that I've learned with some of the struggles that you guys have. And this is going to be the second edition of that workshop that I'm currently hosting, so make sure that you guys do sign up for that if you do need some personal hand-in-hand help in getting your YouTube channel monetized. And if that is the case, I am gonna go ahead and send you to this next video, which is actually the detailed story of how I helped my student Eric to get monetized. So check that out if you're trying to grow your channel. And like this video and share it if you got value from it and you think others will as well.